Now this illustration deals with the use of equipment grounding conductors in accordance with 250.122A exception. Now notice we're dealing with an equipment grounding conductor, and by this definition, or maybe not definition, but this identification stating equipment grounding conductors, we're talking about an overcurrent device ahead of the conductors. Now before we get into this and showing this new rule, now this requirement appeared, I believe, in the 2017 edition of the NEC, if my memory serves me correctly. Although some inspectors would allow this, some wouldn't, so they put it in the code so that designers, installers, and contractors, as well as the authority having jurisdiction, would be on the same page. So let's look at note 1 first, please. It talks about the SBS shall be used as an equipment grounding conductor per 250.121B. Now, if you ever want to know what a definition represents, go to the table of contents that's in the back of the design book, and we have abbreviations there in the annex that would explain, like a EGC is an equipment grounding conductor, structural building steel, SBC, and so forth. Now, if you review, this is a feeder. So everything is sized conductor-wise 215.2A1A. But the overcurrent device is sized by 215.3. And then again, remember, Article 215 means this feeder is inside the building. It does not leave the inside and go outside. The subpanel then would meet 250.24A, 250.142B, and we would isolate that grounded neutral by 408.40, which is the shown from at the left bottom side of the subpanel. It has the call-out grounded neutral conductor. The sizing of that neutral conductor is 220.61 A through C, but it's isolated by 408.40. Now, here's the new rule. 250.121 exception, along with 250.6A, when we review it, will allow you to ground that service equipment to the left at the subpanel due to the structural building steel being closer to the subpanel than back at the service equipment. And then note 2, see it says wire type equipment grounding conductor should be permitted to be used for both equipment grounding conductor and grounding electrode conductor. Now that's an important statement per 250.121A exception and 250.6A. And I've saved the note 2 to talk about it last so you understand, not that you don't, but you could ground at the sub panel that you see with the grounded bars bonded into the can, and the equipment ground connects to it. But you got to make sure now your equipment ground is large enough to serve as an equipment ground and grounding electrode conductor. Most all the inspectors tell me that when this is used, and this is an authority having jurisdiction thing, the 90.4, they do require that equipment ground to be large enough as a equipment ground and bonding conductor, and then it has to be large enough to serve as your equipment grounding conductor. So check this out when you want to apply this exception to 250.121A as in Apple, and that's what this figure 16-112 is illustrating to the user of the code.